Hey you guys, in today's video we're going to talk about a fireplace that I've been seeing in a lot of people's RVs and how to use it without having an issue. It's called the Redstone Infrared Stove Heater. It looks like a fireplace. It's infrared. It goes up to 1500 watts, but it has an option where you can do 1000 watts only. And the reason we're starting to see this is it's relatively cheap and it works pretty good. And the problem is people are running them on 1500 watts and they have a 10 amp rated breaker. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up here. Get the power button, 1000 watts. And if you turn on the other one at the same time as this one, it adds another 500 watts. So over here is your thermostat and over here is your flame adjustment. Down here is where the heat comes out of the actual unit. It does not get hot anywhere around here. You can put stuff on it, your hand on it, and it won't burn you. I don't recommend doing it, but like if down here it gets very warm. So since the heat is down low, that puts it by the floor. You have to be extremely careful. Personally, I would put it on a solid surface that could heat up a little bit. But most of the heat does direct out of here through the infrared itself. But we're going to go ahead and turn it on. Turn the flame view up. This is for viewing pleasure. There's no heat going to come out until you turn on the first 1000 watts. All right, now turn the thermostat up. The fan will turn on. It's not real loud. It's relatively quiet. When it's on 1000 watts, it typically draws 8.33 amps. In my experience, I've been running some tests on it so I can make this video for you guys. However, that's pretty close to 10 amps. So you could run it, but you'd want to keep the thermostat kind of low. You don't want to max this out. But once you turn on the additional 500 watts, which that's what this switch is, it now is drawing 12.5 amps. So once you cross that 10 amp threshold, you have to make sure that the outlet you are using for this fireplace is rated at 15 amps. Now, some RV outlets have multiple things plugged into them, and you're going to exceed that 15 amps very quickly unless this has its own dedicated plug. So the same thing if it's on 1000 watts, because you only have 10 amps, a lot of those plugs are on the same 10 amp breaker. You want to make sure you isolate this to its own breaker by itself. So I'm not saying run an extension cord out to the pedestal outside and then plug it into this, but there are ways that people have been doing it where they'll usually either hire a technician and have him find a way to wire in a new breaker, make sure that the Romex is rated for 12.5 amps. You know, if you put in a 15 amp breaker and your Romex is not rated for 15 amps, you're going to have another problem. That's rare, but on some RVs, they do use a cheaper Romex. But when we're looking at RV heaters to go in RVs, we always want to know, okay, what is the wattage? How much watts will it draw? And then to figure out amps, it's watts over volts. If you look it up online, you can do the math and it'll tell you how many amps it's going to draw. So if it's 1000 watts and you divided that by 120 volts, I believe it's 8.33 without pulling out the calculator because I already wrote it down earlier when I was doing it with this unit itself. Now, can it vary? Yes, it can draw more than 8.33 and it can draw a little bit less. But it really just depends on your RV's wiring and then the pedestal that you're plugged into as well. So these things, I have turned this one on and I left it by itself for 24 hours and it came to temp and shut itself off. So if you turn the thermostat all the way back to off, no matter how cold it is, like this upper range here, typically it's turning off. But this shouldn't be left on unattended ever. You shouldn't sleep with it on, nothing. It's UL listed, so that means as far as electrical design, it's got the UL listed certification. So anytime we put anything in an RV, if you're buying it on Amazon, you want to make sure that it's UL listed, because some of the stuff from China is not UL listed. So this one does work. What we're getting ready to do is we're going to buy some more, and we're going to put them across my bench here, and I'm going to turn them all on, and then we'll do a video and I'll discuss each one and how many amps it's drawing. So this one, again, is Redstone infrared stove heater. I was able to pick this up from a hardware store for $99.99. So, and I put it in my garage, A, so I could use it for the video, and B, because I wanted to see if it would keep it warm. They recommend no more than about 1,000 square feet, I believe, on this one. Indoor only. You can't put this outside and warm yourself up. So the hotter you get it, you crank it all the way up here. I'm going to try to see if you guys can see the red, infrared down in the bottom of it. Let me check the video here. You guys can kind of see it starting to glow down there in the bottom. This is where all the heat is coming out. And like, I'm going to put my hand and move out until I can't feel the heat anymore. I'm still feeling the heat all the way out to here. So it's got a pretty good blower on it, and it's quiet, and it looks cool. So I'll post a link down in the description below if you're interested and want to get one, and you have a breaker that's rated to run it, and you want a little portable heater to put in your RV, you can use this one. Is it the best one? I wouldn't say that it is as far as amperage wise, but we'll do that in another video where we'll show all the different options. And the most common thing I see in RVs is these oil-filled furnaces. They call them radiators back in the day, right? That used to be in like a lot of houses back in the day. That's how they heated a lot of different houses. I see that one a lot, and that will be one of the ones in our video. That's a smaller version. They make a bigger version. And we're going to show you the ones you can use, and we're even going to show you some that you cannot use due to the level of danger that they bring. So one thing we want to make sure is that we're not going to ever expose ourselves to carbon monoxide. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Look down in the description below where you can see some options for heaters, space heaters for your RV. And we'll see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe. And if you also want to become a member to support the channel and you're finding good value, you can now do that. And that actually helps us make more videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're well over 7,000 subscribers now. And I just want to thank you all, because that's 7,000 RV owners. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.